the front of the 200-metre mark from Leilani. Captain Perry on the outside then is Turf Cutter and Thing Big. Leilani is getting two Battle Heights, and on the outside Captain Perry. Leilani just in front. Thing Big is picking it up down the outside, and Thing Big has got up to win the Cup. Thing Big has won. Leilani is second. Third of the race then was Captain Perry. Fourth was Turf Cutter, Lord Metric, followed after a gap by Piping Lane, Herminia, Igloo, Grand Scale. Battle Heights stopped very badly. They're followed behind them by Bellotta, top order, then Gala Supreme, followed by Corroboree. Then came Sequester at the head of the others, then Game Master, followed by Our Pocket, Pilfer, and the last two to come in, or last three rather, were Passatrill, High Sail, and Big Angel almost did not complete the course. Number 13, Think Big, Harry White is the winner. The official placings are 12, 6 and 15. Number 12, Think Big, Harry White first. Bred by the executors of the estate of the late L.A. Alexander, owned in partnership by Mr. R.J. O'Sullivan from Brisbane and Kuala Lumpur businessman Mr. Tam. Trained by Bart Cummings, ridden by Harry White. Think Big, a 4-year-old bay gelding by So Big out of Sarcelle.
Ready to go in the Melbourne Cup of 1979. Light on. And they're off to a great start, and on the inside, Rough and Tough was the first to jump out from Salamander. Carew commenced well, and so also did Red Nose, and dropping in behind them, Dulcify, followed by Horberg, who's driving up towards the leader, and so also is Sarfraz as they link up with the course proper in the run down the straight, the first timer. Love Bandit very prominent just in behind them, and they were being followed a bit further back in the field by Safe Harbour. On the outside of Worry Symbol, they're closely attended further back in the field by Hypernoa. Next on the rails came Magistrate, a length further back. Then at the head of the others came License Fee. They were being followed a bit further back in the field by Pagal, who's over on the inside of Can Camera as they run down the straighter. And further back in the field over the ocean, followed by Giuseppe and Gunderman, and dropping out to last Somerset Nile in the run down the straighter with just over a lap to go. And Sarfraz showed the way by a length to Safe Harbour. A length and a half further back, moving up on the inside, Salamander with a stablemate, Love Bandit, close hand here. They were followed by Ico, and back behind them, Hallberg on the outside of Red Nose. They're followed by Worry Symbol around the outside of Dulcify as they pass the judge and go out of the straighter. Back along the inside as Magistrate, a length and a half to Hyperno on the outside of Cubicator. They were followed by License Fee, and back behind them out deep on the track as Can Kama. Next on the rails came Rough and Tough, a half length further back, Earthquake Magoon, followed by Karu and Pagala. And then came Gunderman, followed by Over the Ocean, Somerset Nile next to last, and Giuseppe is last of all along the riverside of the tracker. And the pace being set by Sarfraz by a length to Safe Harbour. 2 lengths to Salamander on the inside of Love Bandit. 2 lengths further back in the field is Red Nose on the inside of Hallberg. A length to Magistrate there, closely followed by Dulcify, who's one off the fence. 1 length to Ico. Hyperno is next, a length back along the inside. Cubicade saving ground. He's followed by Worry Symbol, a length and a half to Rough and Tough on the inside of License Fee. They were followed at the head of the others, then dropping back a little on the inside. Karu, Can Karma's out deep on the tracker, and they're followed by Earthquake Magoon, a good long gap to Gunderman, followed by Pagal, well back to Somerset Nile, who's over on the inside, and Giuseppe is last of all, and well back is Over the Ocean. Along the back of the track, about 1,300 metres left to go. It's still Sarfraz by a length and a half to Safe Harbour. 2 lengths further back is Salamander, who's running a big race, a length and a half to Love Bandit. A length further back is Red Nose on the inside of Hallberg. 4 lengths away is Dulcify, followed by Magistrate, Hypernoa. Cubicator's next on the inside, and further back is Worry Symbol ridden along. Then came Ico, there followed by Earthquake Magoon on the outside of Rough and Tough. Gunderman, Karu well back in the field with Pagala, and they're followed by Somerset Nile, and back behind them Over the Ocean as they come up towards the home turn. 800 metres left to go. It's still Sarfraz by a length and a half to Safe Harbour. Hallberg on the outside is running on well. Salamander there on the inside. They're followed closely then by Cubicate, and back behind the Pine Hypernoa as they round the turn, and Dulcify is in behind them as they straighten up. About 500 metres left to go in the cup now, and Sarfraz is tackled by Hallberg on the outside, and Red Nose is joining him with a good run. Salamander there also, and they're followed by Hypernoa, and a gap in the field to Karu, and back behind them came Magistrate. About 250 metres left to go, and Red Nose on the outside had to move up. Red Nose on the outside is tackled by Salamander with a great run. Salamander and Hyperno is joining in down the outside. Hyperno on the outside and Salamander, Hyperno, Salamander. They hit the bunny finish. Nearly a dead heat between Hyperno and Salamander. Nearly a dead heat between the pair of them. Red Nose might have been third from Cubicade, and they're followed by Hallberg, and further back to Karu Magistrate, Worry Symbol. They're followed by Cairn Cabra, a long way back in the field then. At the head of the rest of them was Giuseppe, and they were followed by Love Bandit. Over the Ocean Earthquake, Magoon behind them, Zafraz, and then Gunderman, and further back Somerset Nile, and a long way back in the field, Ico almost walking over the line with Safe Harbour. Where's Dulcify? Where's Dulcify? He's broken down. Dulcify has broken down, the favourite in the Melbourne Cup.
Rodrigo Winch dashes to the front. Sir Link is flying with Trillios and Avalora. That's Rodrigo Winch by a neck to Sir Link with Trillios third.
But Quadruple, under the opening of Pat Brennan, is going for the wire of Fred McIntyre, and Quadruple wins the cup from Another Gold. Not as wide, Galloway takes the lead, and Galloway is on the ball. And one with a half furlong to go. Galloway is late, and it's a Jimmy Johnson victory in the run of the post. Lane Lover is streaking on to win it by 8 inches.
And soon after the leader secured the positive.
First there was Jim, then Bart, and now Anthony Cummings.
Ready to go, Tarbob an easing favourite. All in now. Ready for the first of 10 on Cup Day for 98. And the gates are back, off they go. Good start too in the first. Salad Touch away nicely towards the inside in company with Jonesy's Flyer. Tarbob, Title Roll was away well with a toppy. Tembo Tembe going forward. Leading Bounty just behind them. Marlborough's prominent as well. Adventure dropping in behind the speed from Montana Magic. Lord Foster dropping back on the inside. Oh, Salad Touch up in front. He hit that one quite heavily and he's lost ground rapidly through the field back to about 6th or so. And Tembo Tembe just led. Marlborough's right up there on the outside. Jonesy's Flyer tucked away third on the fence when they come towards the third hurdle in the race. Back behind those horses then is Mr. Newby moving up outside, leading Bounty. Salad Touch next over on the inside of Title Roll, and Tarbob in the red and white colours over on the outsiders next when they leap that. He's racing out wide at this stage, and then Lord Foster and Adventure back behind those from Bright Spot, Montana Magic, Bouncing Rhythm, and Mexican Sage is 3 or 4 wide, and last of all. Marlborough shot clear at the post with a lap to run, and he's put a good margin on them in the early stages, heading out to the riverside, and it's Marlborough, the leader, about 5 lengths in front of Tembo Tembe running second. In third placing, Mr. Newby on the outside. Tucked away fourth, leading Bounty. A half to Bright Spot, Jonesy's Flyer, and then Tarbob in the centre. Moving up on the outside, Mexican Sage, about a length to Salad Touch, followed by Montana Magic, and then Lord Foster. Bouncing Rhythm, Adventure, and Title Roll, last of all, about 1,700 metres to go. And here's the next hurdle coming up. Marlborough's come back to the field, steadied a bit and led by a length. Tembo Tembe is a length and a half away in second now. They're followed by Mr. Newby outside, leading Bounty, having a lovely run on the fence with cover, and Bright Spot's tracking him on the fence. Mexican Sage next out wider when they go to the next hurdle from Jonesy's Flyer. Tarbob middle of the field and Bouncing Rhythm out wide. One Lord Foster, Salad Touch, Montana Magic, Adventure is second last, and Title Roll last of all. At the next hurdle out near the 1,400 metres, and Marlborough trying to do it virtually all the way. Led by 2 lengths now to Tembo Tembe. Leading Bounty on the inside, and Mr. Newby's been prominent all the way. He's moved up quickly to go to second now. Next, Mexican Sage outside, Bright Spot. One Bouncing Rhythm and Tarbob. All the leader wrapped that one hard. So did Jonesy's Flyer, who lost ground quickly. Well back passing the 1,200 metres is Lord Foster and Montana Magic when they jump the next hurdle. A good way back too is Salad Touch, who hasn't recovered from that early era. And back last of all is Title Roll. Coming up towards the 1,000 metre mark, and the third last hurdle looming in their sights, and Marlborough the leader. 2 lengths to leading Bounty, who's... Oh, he went through at the leader there. Marlborough crashing through that one, only 2 lengths now. Bright Spot's making a challenge with leading Bounty just behind them. 3 lengths Tembo Tembe back to fourth before the home turn. Tarbob Satellite with his run round the outside, and Lord Foster goes through on the rail. Clear of Montana Magic, and then Adventure's made a little bit of ground on the inside, and next is Mexican Sage. When they came to the corner, Marlborough the leader, but the challengers are coming thick and fast. Bright Spot leading Bounty, Tembo Tembe and Tarbob. The big guns of jumping are coming after the leader. Marlborough into the straight, comes down towards the second last one. Jump that one better from Bright Spot, who's coming home strongly, and Tarbob the outside. Tembo Tembe is next. Bright Spot's taken the lead. Here's the last. Bright Spot over it well. Tembo Tembe is gone, and Tarbob's the challenger at the 100 metre mark. Bright Spot by 2 lengths now from from Tarbob, trying hard. Bright Spot a length and a half in front. He's holding them at bay, and Bright Spot by 2 lengths to Tarbob. Lord Foster third, Marlborough fourth. Then came Tembo Tembe, Montana Magic, Leading Bounty. A break Jonesy's Flyer Adventure, then Bouncing Rhythm. Next to finish in the race was Mexican Sage, Title Roll, Salad Touch, and Mr. Newbie was pulled up at the home turn. Number 4, the winner, Bright Spot, ridden by Jamie Evans. Second placing, the number 2, Tarbob, Michael Patton. And third in the Ford Livered Hurdle should go to 11, Lord Foster, as we await that number to go into the frame. And the time is 3 minutes 29.4. 3:29.4 is a very good gallop. The record, which was set by Tembo Tembe and equalled by Sivagagi, is 3:28.6. Now, number 11 officially third. So in the first, it's 4, 2 and 11. 4, 2 and 11. Bright Spot jumping beautifully, sitting handy to the pace, took the lead coming up towards the 300-metre mark. Tarbob was challenging. Marlborough at that point, a couple of his early mistakes were telling, and he dropped out, as did Tembo Tembe. But Bright Spot found plenty over the concluding stages to hold out Tarbob for a solid victory in the Ford Livered Hurdle first on the card. So 4, 2 and 11 on the first. Bright Spot could well be unbeaten in his hurdle career. The twice he's been beaten, he gave them too big a start. And that was the case at his most recent effort at Sandown on a heavy track. On firm ground, he's very good around this course. He's in fact I think a group winner on the flat. And it was placed in a Duke of Norfolk, so he's got some quality, and he displayed it there over the jumps today. Numbers 4 to 11 in the hurdle first of 10 for the day on Cup Day 98. Rod.
Thanks, Greg. Exciting start to the program, the Cup hurdle always, and Greg said a big crowd filling Flemington for today's Cup. One day on, we can't go without Greg Miles. Here he is.
On your Rod, well, it was well on the market at 4 to 1, Lady Baton. Favourite now, Blondini, about 2s. Telek Toff 7 to 2 on course. And Listening's Joy has come in. Branter also has admirers. All in now. Ready to go, 1,700 metres. About to break. Vicky stood well. Off they go now at the 1,700 metres, and Smoochy Smooch began well in company with Vicky. Out quickly too is Auntie Hilda down on the inside, and they're followed by Listening's Joy. Blondini's going forward in the early part on the outside. Strictly Jazz has come across too from an outside barrier as they settle into stride now, and going forward Macedon Girl as they go past the 1,400 metres. Blue Thunder Lady had dropped out to last, and Telek Toff is about 2 or 3 behind her. The leader is Smoochy Smooch. Blondini's a length and a half away second with 1,200 metres to go. Vicky is a head away third on the inside, a length and a half then to Macedon Girl running fourth on the outside from Auntie Hilda. 2 lengths further back in the field, then Beige Floor, followed by Blondini, Listening's Joy on the inside as Strictly Jazz starts a run around the outside. About a length and a half behind those, Blue Thunder Lady. Telek Toff a good way back as they came down the side. Branter is one of the last, and Skagamayo Lady last of all. Now they're passing the 700 metres in search of the home turn. Smoochy Smooch about a length in front of Blondini, who's going into second around the outside of Vicky. Macedon Girl is next, and then Auntie Hilda. Listening's Joy getting away from the rail when they swing around the home corner. Telek Toff getting up on the fence, but a long way back into the straight. Smoochy Smooch the leader from Blondini, and Vicky down near the inside getting into the clear. Auntie Hilda starting to run on very well in the blue blinkers. Telek Toff through on the inside, but Smoochy Smooch at the 300 led by 2 lengths. Telek Toff is in the clear coming home with Listening's Joy. Auntie Hilda died on the run, and now Branter. Branter is swapping these leaders on the outside. It's Telek Toff tackled by Branter and Listening's Joy in the middle. Branter and Listening's Joy. Listening's Joy's kicking magnificently, and Listening's Joy ahead to Branter. A length to Telek Toff third, Smoochy Smooch fourth. Back behind those, Auntie Hilda, Beige Floor, followed further back by Blue Thunder Lady, then Vicky towards the end, Skagamayo Lady, Strictly Jazz, Blondini knocked right up, and a bad last Macedon Girl. Branter came with what looked like a winning run, but Listening's Joy just took that little bit of time to get going when she got into the clear. But when she did find some open passage, she really fought them off. Great victory to number 5, Listening's Joy, ridden by Brett Preble. Second, number 8, Branter, ridden by Eddie Wilkinson, who swept on them out wide. She hit the front, but got pegged back by a very determined mare. And third to number 4, Talaktov, ridden by Vlad Jurek, saving heaps of ground to get through on the inside to challenge them, but not able to finish off the last couple of 100 metres. And it's 5, 8 and 4 in the second of the day. Fourth home was number 15, Smoochy Smooch, who tried to lead all the way. And fifth was number 13, Auntie Hilda, and they've run 1 minute 42.8, 142.8, numbers of 5, 8 and 4. Well, that's a good win by Listening's Joys. We have a look at the head on here, and she just, when she got into the clear, she really did sprint to the line very strongly, just inclined to roll about a little bit, as they often are at the end of a race. Branter's the one right over on the far left of screen with the red cap, swept on them, looked home, but just wilted on the run a little. Listening's Joy and Talaktov having a little brush there, not much between those two, but it's Listening's Joy in the green colours, going home the better. Great persuasion with the whip by Brett Preble. The blinkers coming off today, and she was certainly down in grade on the victory, on the run rather, at Moonee Valley in Group 3 company. Found a right race today, good victory, trained by Stuart Webb at Cranbourne, ridden by Brett Preble, numbers race 2 of 5, 8 and 4. So that paves the way for the New Asia Singapore Challenge, race 3. Take out number 8, Sam Hyland on 13, Peter Mertens on 17, 11.45 for the third.
And we're hoping for misconnection. A young jockey who's really blossoming is Brett Preble, that you saw in.
A lovely sunny afternoon. We're going to get to 29 degrees at least. It's a very warm day. Little breeze tempering conditions. It couldn't be better, really. And we'll get to the 100,000, I should think, for the first time since 1980. Now, Casino Bid coming up into the line. Siobhan joining them, just the last few to move in. The Barded Bride and Touch of Fantasy, which was replated at the start. Clear favourite here is Miss Conviction, $2.40 and $1.40. And back to the exclusion of all runners. The Barded Bride moved in. Touch of Fantasy took the outside gate. Witch Ruler stood in well with Playful Bell. They're off now, and Nap Hill began nicely on the inside in company with Witch Ruler. Common Style was away well, and so was Casino Bid in the early part. Ruby Joy jumped well. Royal Mystique is up in the first 4 as well. Miss Conviction settling down about 6th or so on the rail, heading to the 1,400 metres now. Good pace in the race. Mason had moved up fast to join Casino Bid, who holds the front running on the rail. 2.5 lengths away in third, then Nap Hill over on the inside of Ruby Joy. 2 lengths Common Style, 1 Royal Mystique, 1 Miss Conviction over on the inside, followed by the Barded Bride and then Magic Love. A length behind those horses, then Belldale Blues. Calabash Bay, Ready's Eddie Go is a good way back in the field, and so is Touch of Fantasy. From the outside rail, it's found itself on the fence there. Amazing piece of riding there. About a half a length away, Siobhan, and then Witch Ruler and Playful Bell whip them in. They've gone quickly. Casino Bid at the 800, led by 3/4 of Mason. 2 lengths away, third, Ruby Joy. Nap Hill tucked away fourth, the inside. 1 Royal Mystique, the Barded Bride wide. Common Style on the fence, and 2 lengths Miss Conviction, who's in a bit of an awkward place on the fence coming for home with the baldy face and the gold cap. When they swing around the bend, pulled out wide, Calabash Bay and Magic Love when they corner, and then Touch of Fantasy now getting to the outside. Casino Bid led at the 400 metres. Nap Hill needing to get out from behind it. Ruby Joy running on from Mason. Now the Barded Bride, despite racing wide, is coming on strongly in the straight now with 250 metres to go. There's a run coming from Miss Conviction, 1 off the rail. Nap Hill hit the front. Miss Conviction checked again. Here's Touch of Fantasy and Siobhan. Touch of Fantasy swept to the front over Nap Hill and then Siobhan. Touch of Fantasy a neck in front. Siobhan's coming at it on the outside. Siobhan grabbed the lead and won. Siobhan by a nose to Touch of Fantasy. Third a photo. Ready's Eddie Go. Miss Conviction very unlucky. Are in it there in company with Nap Hill over on the rails. Next Common Style, followed further back by Magic Love, the Barded Bride, and they're trailed by Ruby Joy. Behind those Belldale Blues are Mason, Royal Mystique, Calabash Bay, Playful Bell and Casino Bid. In the frame, 7's got it. It's Brett Preble again. He's racked up another early double. Number 7, Siobhan, the winner. Second to number 1, Touch of Fantasy. Class ride by Greg Childs from an outside barrier, but he's just missed. And third's gone to 3, Nap Hill over on the inside. Finishing strongly, number 7, Siobhan out in the middle of the track, has won from Touch of Fantasy and Nap Hill. Numbers are 7, 1 and 3. Siobhan taking it out, number 7. So as he did on Saturday, B. Preble racks up a double in the early part of the program. It was a third run back in from a spell. She was always going to run it out strongly, and that's been the difference at the finish. Great ride by Greg Childs on Touch of Fantasy. That'll give him some confidence even though beaten. And I can tell you one thing, the favourite was a good thing beaten in the race, in my humble opinion. It got held up a couple of times in the straight, and when the runs came, the race was all over because those out wide had swept past her. She got stopped in her tracks on a couple of runs, and it was disappointing for those that backed her, but she should have been right there. But take nothing from Siobhan. Strong finishing effort on the outside to win. Put the riding on the wall with a good run at Geelong at the last start behind Make a Scene. And a winner third up at her last preparation. She's run true to pattern in repeating the dose. Miss Conviction. Light flashing away. One rearing was Lenny. Off. Walnut began well. Now, I think it was Bell Bond that stood in the gates hopelessly and missed it about 5 or 6 lengths at least. Carontlove began in a hurry heading to the outside there. Out there too, Drop Anchor's going fast. Lanny just off the speed from Yellow Star, Fanciful Lady. And Raffination came out to the outside rail as well. Over on the other side now, and Blaze the Turf has sped away from them, heading to the 600-metre mark. Put 4 lengths on Walnut. They're followed by Glad now. Miss Brody's already under the whip in 4th placing on the flat side. Behind those is Malinti and Bell Reeve, being followed by Baby Boomer and Miss McCartney. Out on the grandstand side now, and Drop Anchor's hard ridden. The leader from Fanciful Lady, Lanny under pressure. Carontlove and Raffination are next, and the rest are headed by Yellow Star. Over on the other side, and Blaze the Turf about to be tackled by Walnut at the 200. And on the grandstand side, Drop Anchor just the leader. Fanciful Lady's pegging it back. Little between the divisions with Walnut on the flat side going to the lead. Fanciful Lady, Drop Anchor the other side, but Walnut in front, and Walnut won it. Blaze the Turf is second, and third home Fanciful Lady down the grandstand rail ahead of Drop Anchor, Desert Mistral and Lanny. Just behind those horses, the other side of the course, we had Gladden in company with Bell Reeve and Miss McCartney, and then Baby Boomer. Back behind those horses, Raffination, Carontlove, Yellow Star down the grandstand side. Over on the other side of the course again, we had Malinti with our Miss Brody, one of the last to go over the line, and Belbon, who missed the start hopelessly, was last to greet the judge. Well, Walnut has taken this out. Number 1, ridden by Larry Cassidy. First and second coming down the flat side rail. And Walnut never a loser in the run. She was placed on this day last year and second in a 3-year-old race to Danajaya, coming down the grandstand side when the winner drew the flat. But today she's come down the flat rail. It's proven to be to her advantage, and she's beaten Blaze the Turf second, and third, number 15, Fanciful Lady, coming down the outside rail. Numbers are 1, 3 and 15. Walnut the winner, Blaze the Turf second, and Fanciful Lady third. 4th place going to Drop Anchor, number 12, and 5th Desert Mistral, number 11, the stablemates. And they've run a very slick time here, 1:2.7. 1:2.7 is just 0.4 outside of the record set by Mr. Cube. He was a very fast sprinter. Now, what about this start? The gate opened all right, looking at it, and it's just reared and stayed in the gates, Belbon. Wouldn't jump out of the gates. The speed came, got them ready for dispatch. Race number 5 at the halfway mark on Cup Day. They're all locked away. We're up to the inside runner. Broken Bottle has stood in well as far as I can see. Off they go at the 1,400 metres. Queen Marauding was the first to bounce out ahead of Knockrow, who began in a hurry, and Raptors hunting up on the inside. Bush Outlaw, with all his usual pace, is driving towards the front, and Broken Bottle was away well. They've covered 200, and Bush Outlaw led Raptor, and Broken Bottle quickly into 3rd placing. A break of 2 lengths then to Pro Love on the inside of Queen Marauding. About 3 lengths further back, Lord Quickstep, Diamond Duke over on the inside, and then Stenner. About 1.5 lengths behind those, a Spanish Fighter, followed by Regal Conspiracy. Oompa Loompa won to Paddy Shah. Now Mighty Impulse has got a long way back in the field over near the inside, and behind him is Indecision, and back to the tail end of the field is Tycoon Magic. Raptor moved up to Bush Outlaw before the turn and put his head in front. Just behind them is Broken Bottle, who's coming around the outside of Queen Marauding when they corner. Into the straight, Raptor takes the lead from Bush Outlaw the inside. Pro Love behind them. Queen Marauding is fourth at the top of the straight. Broken Bottle's under pressure already. Knockrose coming down the outside. Lord Quickstep pulls out. It's now with 300 metres to go. Raptor taking the lead about a neck in front of Bush Outlaw, who won't drop off. Queen Marauding and Regal Conspiracy running on, and so is Pro Love. And Knockrow coming down the outside with Lord Quickstep joining in. Raptor in front with Bush Outlaw, but they're stopping, and Knockrow and Lord Quickstep are coming at him. Raptor's fighting on. He's just the leader, and Raptor a half length to Knockrow second. Regal Conspiracy might be third, not much in that. Lord Quickstep out wider, and Diamond Duke close up on the rails. Then Bush Outlaw, Pro Love, Queen Marauding, Broken Bottle. Back behind those to finish in the race, Spanish Fighter, followed by Indecision and Paddy Shah Stenner. Mighty Impulse has finished a long way back, and Oompa Loompa was second last with one more, Tycoon Magic, last to greet the judge. Number 3, Raptor, ridden by Eddie Kasser. Up on the pace all the way. He's fought on tremendously well to take it out, and the judge has called for a photo for second. Stand by for those numbers in the time of 1:23.1. Second's gone to number 4, Knockrow, ridden by Danny Brereton. And we await the third, number 3, 4, and possibly another photo for third, 1:23.1 the time. Been a very consistent horse, Raptor. Number 5's got third, Regal Conspiracy, running on very strongly, 3, 4 and 5. Very consistent horse, Raptor, and he's always shown a great deal of fight, which we've seen from him today. He was the first to throw out a challenge. In fact, he'd put his head in front of Bush Outlaw before they came round the turn. It was about here I thought that Knockrow and Lord Quickstep might be able to overhaul him, but the big 4-year-old really kept digging in. He's always been a great trier. He's only been out of the money a couple of times in his entire career, and one was on a heavy track which he didn't fancy first up. So you've got a horse who absolutely tries his heart out here, and that's a most deserving win. His previous victories had come at Wangaratta and Sandown in a midweeker, and he was second up in this race today, and a very strong deserved victory. He was caught off the course the other day at Caulfield, 3 wide all the way. It was a top run, and he went under in a photo there. Had a much better run from an inside gate today, and that's been a terrific, super strong win by Raptor. Well, the favourites were very disappointing, Mighty Impulse particularly. He was out the back, second and third last all of the way, and second in from a break today. He'd never really fired before. It was a terrific run first up at Echuca, but he's now had 4 second up runs, and he's failed to run a place in each of them. And Broken Bottle, well, he had a lovely run on the pace. If you could bet 200 metres after the start, you probably would have unloaded on him, but he struggled very badly. Numbers 3, 4 and 5 on race number 5. Up 1,000 metres, all set. Off now. Catnip jump well over on the outside, and Di looks like heading to the grandstand and taking all of Blur out there with her. Over on the other side now, and Masked Dancer first out ahead of Masked Stick. Sozzle began very fast, the grey shooting up towards the leaders. Rose's Joy just in behind those, followed by Minimal, and Param has come across out on the other side, and Catnip is a clear leader heading to the 600 in front of all of Blur. On the grand, they're the leaders on the grandstand. On the flat now, they're heading to the 500, and the grey Sozzle the leader about 2 lengths to Masked Dancer on the inside. Rose's Joy is just outside it, and then Minimal and Param behind them. Crystal Academy, followed by Cobra, and Mastic on the rails is under pressure. And on the other side, it's Catnip clearly in front of all of Blur. They're nearing the 200 metres, little between these. Sozzled on the inside and Catnipped on the grandstand side. Sozzled 100 out on the inside, well clear of that division. Catnipped on the outside. Sozzled